welcome back. This guy is so interesting. But welcome back to Code Chronicles. It is Pags, your lovely host, guys. I got a lot of stuff in the works. Yeah, this guy, he's such a brilliant dude. Here's his channel, Dry Creek Wrangler School. Just so many interesting concepts. Such like a just straight shooter type person. But let me put on some instrumental type music in the headphones real quick for myself, and then we're gonna dive into what we're doing. It's a little jazz. I don't want that. Sorry to any jazz people. But anyway, so the project management solution is definitely coming together. It's looking amazing. For those of you who are new, welcome to the project management system. Think of like a Jira, like a Kanban board type thing where we can track tasks. We can see project. Let's see if we can navigate our application here. The server might be down. Oh no, we're up. We're just going really slow right now. So let me give a brief overview of where we're at now. Let me log out. We're gonna get redirected, and let me log into the account with more information. Yeah, guys, amazing build. It's built in TypeScript, Next.js, React, obviously. I'm using Zustand instead of Redux or Redux Toolkit. I think that is just too much boilerplate code for what I'm trying to do. Although you do get more granularity with Redux. Gosh, but what an amazing day. I have gone to church. Back here, about to go work out after this. Go run the hill one more time. Met with my buddy Yogi at church. Actually, I think he's gonna hop on. We might do a podcast or something. Yes, so that's kind of the landing dashboard. It looks really interesting and really cool with that 3D model. We do need to still default to the first fetch, going to like the first project. But here's what it looks like, where we can like monitor a project's progress. So it's monitoring everything off of this Kanban page. See if it loads real quick. Not sure why we're having routing issues, or routing delays rather. But it's monitoring all of these tasks and which tasks are done, which tasks are completed, all of that stuff. So it's really powerful, and we can add task columns, of course. We can categorize tasks. So I could say new task, right? And that'll be the name of the task, high priority, and I can even give it a new category. So I'll say category 1, right? And we could go ahead and throw it in the done column. And I'm measuring completion based on this done column right now, but we actually have a feature where we can change that. But if we go back to our dashboard now, we could see a few things that, one, we've completed more tasks this week. One more task got added to this bar component. We have a category that got completed down here. We see it's 100% completed. All the tasks associated with category 1 are completed. And you can see our project overall completion of tasks that are currently on the Kanban board are 57% done out of all of them. So it's a really powerful system. And then here's the kicker. This is just this project. Now, if I have a different project and I click on it, boom, we're going to get different stats because it's a different project with different tasks, different users, different team members, all that stuff. So that is what this task tracker is about, and it's a powerful system. I'll tell you what, I'm building it because I wish there was a system like this. So, and I built it as a tool because we're actually having some trouble monitoring where the 80% completion mark is for a web application me and a buddy are building. So it's actually a great solution. One thing I was working on was an invite feature, so I can invite teammates. Kind of working on that, having some node mailer issues where it's going to email. Well, just completely dogs a password here, but I'll chop this part right here. I'll go ahead and go click. Yeah, so having some node mailer stuff right here where we could see kind of, just the format of where it's coming from Team Syncer. That Gmail is where this project is going to be coming from, or at least this email when it gets shot out. But I'm having some issues on it, so I'm not going to debug it today. What we're going to do is actually work on the project restore functionality. I think that's going to be a really, really, really interesting functionality. So what I want to do is put a project status here. And what the status is basically going to be on our end right here, it's obviously string, but basically it'll be an enum that's going to be like active. And we touched on it, I believe, in the last episode. But it's basically going to be active, inactive. I think that's it, because we can delete from inactive. So it's just going to be a Boolean value roughly, but I'll keep it as a string for now in case we want to add a third value or a fourth value. I have no idea. Maybe we'll check if teams can buy premium project features or something. I'm we'll keep that door open. So I'm not going to build everything based on a Boolean value. I'll do a string value where I can obviously build around it. So what I want to do is basically have a function that's transferring the project when we delete it. So here's some new projects that we've built. Right, you are deleting a Zoom project, right? So that's kind of a big deal, right? For anybody who's used Jira or Trello, deleting a project can be kind of a larger thing. So we kind of have a delete, just modal, are you sure you're deleting this? And then we have a double checking delete projects, or deleting a project can be a big deal. One more time, please verify that you are correctly deleting Zoom, the project name, with 0 tasks in this project, because you're deleting a project from like your user base, right? Or your user data. So then I have them confirm, boom, you can delete, and then it deletes the project. So, but what we want to do is just change it from, we're not actually going to delete it yet. We're going to change it to an inactive status. That way people could still restore their project. God forbid, they just accidentally deleted something. Maybe we'll put a timer on it so they can't. Let me npx generate the Prisma command that we have, which just generates a contract and then runs the server. So we're still up and running. But the biggest thing is we don't want people to accidentally delete a project for any reason at all. Like it's a bigger deal. We want multiple fail proofs or fail safes. That way, there's no questions or columns. So we'll say project deletion or project update endpoint, one of the two. Project deletion, that's fine. And then we're going to pass basically a project ID, I believe, in the params. So I'll go ahead and pop that in. And let's steal this. We really don't need all that extra functionality though, because we already have the delete project endpoint built. So I don't need all of this. We're really just updating the project status. So I guess more so it's kind of just this, right? Where we're just updating the project status. So project ID, let's see, project description, add any conditional project checks for needed, update the project. This looks like it's for the update project description, which is like one of our describing things for a project. Maybe we'll deprecate that. I'm not sure quite yet. That's just like adding a little bio next to our project of what the project's about, all that stuff. But I do want to get the endpoint integrated where we can control the deletion status of the project. So we're actually not going to get a project. We're not going to delete the project quite yet. We're just going to handle update project. So I want to rename it actually. Instead of project deletion, I want to say project status. How about that? Project status. And we're going to update project status. Seems appropriate. And we're going to say if rec.body.name, if there is a rec.body name, update. We're not going to do project name though. We're going to change that to project. Actually, hold on. Oh, I see. It's passing in the update data. Let's not do that. We are going to, we're going to not do that. We're going to pull in the project ID from the query, and we'll say project status. We'll pull in from the body. and we're going to find the project ID, and the data is going to be project status. So project updated successfully, that's fine. Okay. And basically now when we delete a project, we're not going to delete it. We're just going to move it to inactive or back to active. And we can pop that into these lists here, right? So these two, well, right here is like team members list, but I'm thinking of having, well, maybe like a clicked modal where I can navigate between active projects and inactive projects. Maybe that's where we'll do it, just all in this manage projects table. I like it. I like it. UI UX thought of just like that, folks. We like it. We like it. We like it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Let's see, base project. I believe it's table is gonna be our project here. Let me zoom out, give me a little bit of space. So here we have all of our projects being mapped. And basically I want to now change this map and say const show active projects. And we'll just arrow function into this. It's just a render template here. And we'll just do some fragments, boom. And we should not have a problem wherever that was though. I did lose the side of it. Sorry, let me just see where, oh, right here, line 83. Okay, cool. So I believe it was right there. So boom, pop that in. We still should see nothing change. Everything still should be there, right where it belongs. We're just literally refactoring the code. Reason is, you can see we have some of our mobile responsive working great. That's awesome. But basically we're gonna have a state variable in this component that's gonna be const show active projects and set show active projects, I guess. Use state, it's gonna be a Boolean value, so just true, false. And we'll start with true. We'll show the active projects first. And I'm gonna take this piece of state. We are lagging so much because the, oh, I see show active projects. We'll rename this. I did not realize. We'll just name it to active projects. There's a lot of different ways to skin the cat on this one. So I'll just put it here and say show active projects. And we'll just make it a ternary. And then on the other side of it, we'll have inactive projects. And it's not built yet, but it's going to be the same thing that we're showing as just the projects loop here. And we're just going to filter the inactive and the active projects based on the project status. So it'll be a little bit confusing, but let me break it down in data before we do it in the template. I think it'll make a little bit more sense. So, well, first of all, when we post a project, we do need to have the data posted as active. So I think that's step one. Let's go ahead and do that. Project store, when we post a project, I'm gonna pass in the project name and I'm gonna pass in project stat. Well, I guess we could do it actually in the endpoint. Projects by users. Let's see, let's go to pages.api, projects, project by user, boom, boom, post project. I'm gonna post it with a project status. And the project status, a reason to not do this, at least for right now, but we're gonna say active. So every project that gets created now, it's gonna show with this active badge now associated to it. That's the thing we're gonna update between projects. Let's see what our errors are. We didn't really touch very much outside of maybe I'm rendering something wrong here. Hold on, folks. Let me go ahead and console log this. Let's just make sure we are still showing that. So It's an empty array. Let's see if it fetches all the projects and brings it to us real quick. Should. It was working great earlier, so I don't understand why we would have any issue, to be honest with you. Let me click around real quick. Let's see if there's gonna be some errors here. Let me see the console. We're obviously getting a few errors. Project undefined. Okay, there's no project ID or no user ID. So that's going to be a user store issue. I don't want to deal with it right now. Let's see if we can just kind of hackishly get around it for this build real quick. Or I wonder if it's going to be an issue with our Git projects, but I thought we made a conditional project status. Yeah, it's conditional, so it shouldn't really affect too much. I'm unsure to why it's changing so much, or breaking so much rather. But I know it's a user ID issue because we can see task by project or project ID issue because there's no project ID. But if there's no project ID, it probably means there's no user ID. And it looks like in our top nav that we are not loading the user. So let's go to our top nav real quick and see what is going on. Clerk user bridge. Let's go pop into here. Looks like we're setting the user on load. Let's console log this, see what response we're getting. Undefined, 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 but it shows us the right user right here. So it does follow up. Maybe we want to, but we do have the user popping in, right? And then it sets it. So I'm a little bit curious why this is now happening. Ay, que lísimo. Ay, caramba. Folks, I'm so pumped that we have this actually moving along too. I've been getting a lot of good feedback on the project management system. I'm gonna try the old-fashioned Nintendo trick where you pull out the cartridge and sign back in, sign out, sign in type thing, you know? Back in the day, you used to pull out the cartridge and put it back in, and then it would work like 90% of the time. Okay, 401 unauthorized, so that is going to be something to do with our user. But why would that now change? I don't understand that. Okay, and then it goes away. Obviously, I saw the user log in too, or we'll pop in. And it's showing user ID right here. Boom. So we should have it. Welcome, Ryan. Nice, we're back into it. So looks like our old Nintendo trick did work. Sweet, 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 sweet. Okay, let's get over to our project management. I deleted that a really long time ago. Okay. Saving, boom. Guys, I cleared so much stuff off this computer too, and then I've got an old computer that uploads videos, and I pulled out an old hard drive to transport all the videos from here to there. And but okay, anyway, so we are back. So posting project, it's going to post with an active status. Let's go ahead and test a new deal. So I click the button. Let's see. Should take us to our sign up flow. Nice. Okay, so I'll say project 1. Let's go ahead and test it out. And if I pull up my database, let's look at our projects, and we should see now project 1 with an ID, and then also now a status associated with it. So boom, active. And all I want to do for all of these statuses, this is no longer going to be a delete endpoint here. It's actually going to be a, well, it will be for the inactive. Let's maybe configure that so we can see this work in live time. But all it's going to do is just literally pass in a string inactive. That's it. Nothing too fancy. Just a string value. That's all. So let's do for this. So inactive to show active. I guess what we do at the top is have a div with 2 buttons of like active projects maybe, and then one that says inactive projects. And these are going to represent buttons, right? So these are going to be our buttons here. Obviously, we need to spice them up a whole bunch, make them look a little bit better. So I'll say with fold, justify, flex, and item center. And then we'll do, so that'll pop them to the left and right side, but we want them actually like really close. So what I'll do here on the active one, we need to kind of define it as a button. I could pull in the base button for this. Let's try, I guess, see how it looks. Base button. Just fearful it's going to look way too big, right? So let's put a custom class and we'll say height 1 just to get rid of all that height. Maybe that'll work, right? Maybe that'll work. And then we'll just do that for this one as well. Boom. Inactive projects. We have active and inactive. So we have 2 buttons, left and right, and I'll say we just want to show. Let's do our custom function, which is just basically keeping the on-click function alive. So let's say set show active projects, and this will be the string active. And I see. We did make that a Boolean value. Well, like the data, I'll copy and make it a string as well. And we'll just default it to active. So inactive, and we're also going to get an error there too because it's not a real thing. So we actually don't want a Boolean value, and more importantly, we actually really want an enum between active and inactive. And then we can just default it to active. So those are the only 2 values that this piece of state can take in. Let me go ahead and, so this state should be working now. If we show the show active projects string, we should see it right above now. Give it a sec to load on the DOM, active. So then I click inactive, active, inactive. And we're just going to use that, right, that piece of state to conditionally render which list we're showing. And I'll say show inactive projects. We'll say equals active, show the active ones, else show the inactive ones. And obviously we see them both as the same list because they are the same list, but we'll say these are inactive projects for now. We'll just put that piece of state to show us that. Let me delete it out of the template. But that's the inactive list now showing. And if we click on the active button, these are our active projects, these are our inactive projects. So that's how the UI UX is going to work. And we're going to obviously spice it up a little bit. So custom class, boom, 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 parameter here, h1, and we'll say bg, well, how about this bg background primary? Just to obviously give us a button that we can see very clearly. And then what we're going to do is mess with the opacity. So I'll say $sign this. So we're going to pull in that set or the show active project piece of state. And we're going to say, if it's active, do this. And if not, do this other thing. So we'll say opacity, let's say 100, right? And then we can say opacity 50, right? And there's a lot of different ways you could show this. But that's fundamentally what we want to do. And then we'll do the same thing here. We're just going to change one thing. And it's just going to be, you could do does not equal active, or we could also say equals inactive. They both will do the same thing. So now we can kind of see the buttons be selected, right? You can kind of see it as like a live thing, boom. So we're clearly on the inactive projects. We're on the active projects now, right? Boom, boom, boom. So that kind of handles the visual aspect of it, right? Where we can kind of see 2 different states that we're rendering, which are these two inactive and active projects. What we want to do now is filter based on active projects and then the ones that aren't active. So let's do that, and we're not going to push it to the delete project modal. We'll do that on inactive projects, but on the active projects, we're going to need the update project modal. So it's going to be like a fake deletion. Because again, deleting a project is a big deal. It's not an easy thing to do, or it shouldn't be, right? So active projects first, we're going to start with this are you sure you're deleting a project? Double checking. And what we could do is let's see, we could rebuild this a little bit and keep this double checking, right? Double checking as the first go around. And then this is going to be, instead of handle delete project, we're going to have handle update project, or handle update delete status or something. Handle update project status, maybe what we'll call it, right? So project store, let's go to the project store real quick. I don't know if we built the endpoint. I forget. I don't think we did. I don't believe we did. We just did. We want to copy down the update project, and we're going to say update project status. We don't want to have update data. We're just going to pass in the project status. I guess it would be the partial project. It's technically what it would be. The partial project type, which I believe is pulled in. So say project status, boom, there we go. Nice. And I don't want to do update data again here. I just want to move this to project status, and we need to build the type for this and change the end location. So it's not going to be projects. It's going to be project/projects by user, or excuse me, project dash status. That's what it's going to be. You guys can hear my keys, and then it's that delayed. Okay, so that looks like it's almost built out. I think we're exporting it naturally. So let's do this, and we'll put it here, update project. It's almost the same thing. Update project status, and it'll be project status is what we're passing in. And again, the partial is going to be the project. And same with the update data, technically that would, but we'll have a day for all the type checking. I did that for deployment reasons. All the annies, you really shouldn't do that, but I was in a scurry and a hurry to get the projects updated or uploaded, so I had. Gotta love the software developer mug. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so update project status, and then it'll trigger the endpoint to fetch the projects. I think that's exactly what we want. Let's obviously test it, I think. So update project status, and we're going to say update project status. And we need to pass in the project ID and then also the status. And we'll, for right now, just hard code it to inactive. And it really should be as partial, right? Not project status. We're going to do partial project. Nice. Okay. So that's what we want with our double checking type thing. And basically, we just want to fire off that endpoint where we're changing the string value from active to inactive. That's all. That's all we're doing. And then we're going to conditionally render all the projects that are... Let's see. I wonder why that bug is happening. Where it's changing from inactive, inactive, but not opacity 50. Oh, I see. I must have hit Control Z or something. A little too quick. But again, and we could probably even filter that now. So filter, say filter project. Come on, brain, help me out here. Help me out, brain. Help me out. Brain, be better. You know what I mean? So I'll say if project, let's go change this a little bit. Boom. And we do need to return all this. So I want to, well, I guess we could kind of keep it simple actually. Say project dot, let me wrap it in this. Say project dot project status equals active. Boom. There we go. I think that's all the logic we need, right? And I'll just draw this around here. Oh, you know what? And we believe we need fragments either. Yeah, we need fragments here, I believe. Nice. Okay, so that should be only the active project. So we actually should only see one of them, I believe. And then we'll do the same logic for the inactive project, but you guys guessed it, we'll just say inactive. It should be, at least assuming people aren't building out 50 projects or something, that should be plenty fine that the front end handles that. And it's just one extra step of like your restored projects. And we need the ability to put them back to active as well. So it's going to be a bit of a functionality thing here where we're actually going to see all of our projects in the inactive project, but let's see. Why is this playing all hard to get and stuff? Okay. What are we breaking? Objects are not valid as a React child. Okay, then let's not make it a child. We will just make it a parent. Which we can't do. Why can we not do that? That seems silly. I feel like I've definitely done that before too. Project status. Let's see if it just does it one more time. Maybe we just want to conditionally render it real quick. Maybe that's all it needs out of that, because it's like maybe firing off the child first and then the project status comes in. Potentially could be what's going on in the DOM. Let's see. Fingers crossed. Nope. Did not like it. Okay, so what if we didn't do a return statement and just did this? Would that, what color was that? That was red. Okay, folks, let me get it back to running real quick. Again, that really worked really well in my mind. But that's not a problem. We could figure it out up here as well. I know for a fact we will. So, yeah, let me think about it. Let me think about it really quick, but I do believe that's probably going to be the easiest way around it. What's going on? React child. Oh, you know what? Maybe I still map it and then I see. So same logic, just map it. I see. At least let's hope, right? Let's hope. Boom, look at that. Look at that. Okay, then let me get this down here. Nice. Okay, and we do see our projects, or at least one of them. And right now I'll just say does not equal inactive, so we can see two sets of projects. But realistically, this is obviously going to show a ridiculous amount of projects on the right side, on the inactive projects, even though that's not true. They're all active right now. So they're all part of this list, which we'll also need to update that list. So maybe we could do something with the project store.projects where it only shows active projects maybe. Because I don't want to necessarily keep track of the state and data all over the entire application. Seems like an opportunity there. But let's go ahead and also gap these buttons a little. Gap 4, just so we can see a little bit of room maybe. And even PX8 as well. I want them kind of, yeah, maybe not like that. Okay, but that should be a bit better, I think. Margin bottom 4, let's see, just to make them look a little more organized. But the idea is we want to have that delete button, and then we also want to build a different set of buttons there. So let's see what we can do. Realistically, this project 1 is the only one that's working proper right now. The other ones, again, seem to look inactive, but they're actually all active. So let's see. So active, we click on the update project modal. Update project modal is going to double check and go to the deletion. The double checking, we don't want to delete right now. We just want to update. That's all we want to do. So let's fire off that endpoint and see if we're working here. I got the console on the left. Let's see what we do, and then I'll see if project 1, you are deleting. Boom. Projects can be a big deal. Boom. Let's see if we see it all. Error, I did not get, I got a 500 internal server error. So, oh, you know what? Did I say user ID here? No. Project status, let's see what we're getting, right? Let's see if it's coming in here. Project status. Let me refresh. Basically, I just want to see in this terminal if we can fire off this inactive. We should see a project ID and then the string next to it of inactive. And if we've done that correctly, let's confirm project and then undefined. So project status is getting passed in as undefined when. Oh, you know why? In the project store, update project status. Oh, needs to be wrapped as an object. That'll do it, folks. That'll do it. That'll do it. It needs to come from an object, not a variable, right? So let's go back to this project ID. Make sure. I think that's all we needed, right? Wait for the projects to load. Come on, loading. We got our user, we got our project, nice. Let's delete, boom, delete, inactive. So it swapped it over to inactive. It now should not show anymore. If we refresh on the active side, it should be on the inactive side. So again, our active project should be length of nothing. Oh, and it's still something. So something did not get updated. Let's see. Project active. Okay, so let's see, updated project, data project status. So we find the project ID. We're getting it all properly. Project updated successfully. It looks like it all worked. So let me go ahead and try just the old console log running trick, right? See where it kind of breaks in our system here. So if we see the running 0 and then we don't see the running 1, we know this Prisma object command is not working. Where's that status? Okay, let's see if it doesn't send the status, and let's see if it goes to the console. I don't think it shows the error, so maybe it's just the server needs to be crashed and restarted real quick. Let's try that. Sometimes it's as easy as that. Not a huge issue though. Not a huge issue. All we're doing is just finding this ID and updating the project status. That's it. That is it. So boom, boom, boom. Let's see, restore. Let's see if we see anything down here. We should see, oh, maybe the server's still up and running. Boom, running 0. Ah, so we didn't see 0, we didn't see the 1. So it breaks here, it goes to here, doesn't make it through this code block. And then it breaks here. So let's look at this, update where, project status. We could always do the old trusty intern here, right? The old trusty intern. Let's do that, right? My endpoint is breaking at the updated project line. Not sure why. Let's go to Prisma. We'll copy and paste this schema for chat. Here is my schema. Boom. Okay. So we know it's not the store because everything is getting passed in from the store successfully. The ID, the status. So it should be working, right? Oh, I see. I see. Boom. There we go. Okay, let's try that out. Back to the plan, folks. This is kind of an awesome feature, to be honest. I'm kind of pumped on this one. Assuming it works. Assuming it works. We'll have like a little green heart button or something, or green cross to like restore the project. Okay, let's try. Looks like the server's back up and running. Delete. Are you sure this can be a big deal? Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Compiling, compiling, compiling. Let's see that ID and inactive. So it gave us a check confirm. And it's swapped to inactive. We didn't see it here. Oh, we're not console logging. Duh. Okay, so that's a cool feature. So now it's inactive. And update project status. Let's go to, we don't need top nav anymore. Let's go back to our project table. We want to say handle update project status. We actually want to pass in the project status as well. Project status, and again, it's going to be a partial. And it's partial of what? The project. That is correct, folks. Not partial object, a project. And we're going to use this as project status. Boom. Pass in handle update project status. We can pass in inactive here, and then we can use that same function for making something reactive, like to activate something again on the other side. So let's build that even just so we can see our projects go back and forth. So say inactive projects, or like project graveyard, right? Or like restore. Maybe it's a good title for that. Restore projects. Project history even, right? Like, let's see. Not seeing a lot of projects and even restore projects. Oh, maybe there's an error with double checking because we're doing it. So let's say update, what is it? Activate project modal. We'll call it that. Base button. Let's see. Disabled project store states. Weird. Oh, we're not getting any projects now. Do we have the user? Is it one of those again? So I'll need to look into that error on why it's doing that. Sign back in, and I want to use this email. Base project button. Let's see, we want delete. Oh, okay, I see this is for the modal. We actually want Let's see. We want to do some font awesome stuff, right? We want like that font awesome plus, I bet. Or if they have like a medic type thing, med. Yeah, maybe like a med kit, I guess. Maybe that'll look right? So, not partial, we want partial. Sorry guys, it's slowing down on us. So I'll wrap it up here when we can get active and inactive going, and then function, which we've already built that out, so that shouldn't be a big deal. Partial, yes, that's what I meant. Come on, baby, come on. Activate project modal. FA medkit, come on. We should see some projects here. Nice. Okay. And then in this tab, we want to do this activate project modal in the inactive projects. So here we have update project modal. We also want activate project modal, and we need to add the base button. So we'll say restore maybe. And our base modal, that doesn't exist yet. We have a lot of buttons. We need to probably figure that one out, but it's already so much to do. So just keep on moving, right? Keep on moving. So I want to see that. Actually, we also want to make that button kind of green or something, like some sort of background green. So where's that restore medkit background? Green. Okay, let's refresh, see if that mounts everything properly. And then all that modal is going to do is just change that status right back to active. That's it. Active project modal. So if we go to restore projects, we should see, weird, we're seeing the delete one still. Sure. Oh, there's that little med kit. Perfect. So activate project modal. We want the same thing, just active. That's all. So we'll say restore project, right? Restore project for the header. You are restoring this project, right? Like you are restoring project blank. Hopefully this all plays out right. That'd be awesome, right? So boom, you are restoring test and boom. Confirm. Nice. Let's see if we could start restoring these things. Confirmed. Okay. Breaks us for right now. That's not a big problem. We'll adjust that in the future. Just the reactivity stuff typically isn't horrible. It's just kind of a functionality deal. That's the biggest thing. So sweet. That's in our active now, and we can go. That is so cool. That is so cool, guys. Holy crap. So active projects, we'll put this in inactive as well. For inactive, we actually want that delete modal working for that. We might be missing one of the flows. Yeah, we're not deleting the project. I see we have a handle, double check. Let's see. So we'll need to actually make the proper delete one. So boom, we'll have this restore functionality confirmed. Boom. Maybe I'll call it project history. I think that seems appropriate, and people can figure out, okay, I could restore a project if I need to, or I'll put it part of the tutorial or something. So let's think about it. And then when it gets to the project history, like this is now projects that you used to work on, we need to get it out of here as well. So let's go to base project selector, and all we want to do is just take in that same logic of showing the projects that are, let's see, we want project, and what is it? What would it be? Project status equals active. And boom, boom, boom. And that should handle our list too. So we should only see the active projects here. We shouldn't see all of them anymore, just the ones that are active. So that's what we want. Again, just to differentiate, okay, that project's removed from our workflow or whatever. Gosh, that is a cool piece of functionality. I love that. I love that so much. Just to add that extra layer of safety, of fail proofing. So you can create projects. They should be active, and then let's see. So I'm going to call this project 2. That is pretty rad, folks. So that should pop in here. Then we can delete project 2. Oops, didn't mean to make that. Boom, delete. Gets popped over to project history. Obviously, we're breaking some stuff right now. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. In inactive projects, we want to have the delete project modal, which is going to be this double checking, which we kind of double checked already. But let's see, confirm. Let's see if our delete endpoint still works. Can't remember what our double checking is doing. I think our double checking is updating actually. So it may not, may not be doing the right thing. So let's do actually delete, right? Like actually delete project modal. Say double checking. It won't be double checking. It'll be double checking modal, just to again be a little bit more descriptive. Our delete project modal, forgive me, I think it's that one that we want. We don't want that. We want the actually delete project modal. So let's see, delete project, boom. And then we need to use the actually delete. We need to use our actual real delete endpoint. So we have enough layers of fail proof here that I feel a lot more confident about. So let's see, boom, you are deleting project 2 with 0 task, boom. And now it's actually gone. So people have multiple opportunities. You can remove it from a project. Maybe we'll have like admin controls, so only the admin of the overall project can kind of do things like this. Or maybe it'll be like a premium feature, something like this. You could restore the project, things like that. So yeah, but I'm gonna wrap it up here. That was a very successful build. Pretty stoked on that. Pretty stoked on that. So we can boom. Delete, delete, delete. Again, it is changing a few things in our reactivity. I'll fix that maybe behind the scenes or something, but I'm pretty pumped on that. And I guess we could put a delete timestamp as well to show like deletion and like an opacity thing right here, deleted at so-and-so date. Maybe could be useful for a team, potentially. I don't know, just trying to think with the dippy, folks. But overall, I love seeing that functionality. I think it's just going to help kind of fail. And I'll sleep on it to see if the flows kind of make sense. You kind of like double delete the first time, and then you can also restore and then also double delete. So maybe we'll just leave it to the second kind of restore modal thing, right? Activate project, or maybe I'll call it restore project. Restore project modal, I think makes a little bit more sense. And that seems to be the one that we kind of actually want, just that restore. We don't want to do double checking for deletion. I don't think, at least when it's in project history, I think people are like, no, I'll just probably delete it at that point. If it's kind of like your last step, you have 3 chances, I guess. So that seems adequate, right? Delete project modal. Oh, what is that? What? Did I not copy everything down? Oh, I didn't. I did not. Okay, so let's see. Delete project modal. Boom. See how that kind of looks. So you would just go straight here and then boom, actually delete it. So active projects. You get your double check. Break some state, of course, or some data on the DOM, and then okay. Yeah, I like that. I think overall that's the right idea, or at least 90% of it built. Details handle later, you know. That's the right idea. Is oh, I didn't mean to delete Taskify. My fault. Boom, we're back up in actions, folks. We're back up in action. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this episode. I am going to wrap it up there. That is a very successful build, in my opinion. A novel idea as well. So I like it, and I think it's really relative to what we're building as a whole. So I like it a ton. Very pumped on it, and it's just one of those things, you know. So, all right, folks. I will catch you on the next one. Thanks for joining me.